Okay, so I've had a few parents asking about the fractions ready for week 4 of our home learning. So I've kind of set it up into the different days. So the first day we're looking at reading. When we're reading the fraction, the denominator, so your bottom number, is going to be how many parts it's split up into. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 as our denominator. And then your numerator will be how many are shaded. So in this case, it's just 1, 2, 3. So therefore we are looking at 3/8. And for this fraction, it's a different shape, but it's the same concept. So it's split into 3. So that's our thirds for our denominator. And it's 1, so it's 1/3. It's shaded of that fraction. And we're looking at equivalent fractions. Now to look at equivalent fractions, you need to do the same to the top as you do to the bottom. So if I times the top, so 1 times 2 is 2, I have to times the bottom by 2. So it's 4. So 1/2 is the same, so it's equivalent to 2/4. And then I can keep going like that, times it by 2. And that means I've got to times the top by 2 and do the same. I'll keep doubling and doubling, and then each one will be equivalent. So I can even go, just keep going higher and higher. And then here I've got 9/12, and because it's quite a big number, I can actually divide. So before I was timesing, this time I can divide. So I know that 3 goes into both of these because I know my 3 times tables. So I know that 9/12 is equivalent to 3/4. I've divided this one by 3 and I've divided this by 3, which has left me 3/4. So I know they are equivalent. So some children find it easier to times and divide fractions to work out equivalent fractions. Others find it easier just to look at the pictures, which is why the worksheet has different pictures on it. So this one, even though 4 parts are shaded, and this is only 2 parts are shaded, this is actually split into 6 equal parts, whereas this is split into 3 equal parts. And the children should be able to notice that if I just made this a thicker line here and ignored this one, they're actually representing the same amount. They're both equivalent to each other. It does depend on how your child works or how they will find the equivalent fractions. The next is the fractions of an amount, which in class, Eagles especially, were doing very well. And from what I've heard from the other classes, they were getting on with it really, really well. They really enjoyed finding fractions of an amount. So when we're working out the fractions amount, we're looking here 1/2 of 14. I'll put 14 on top of my bar model. And now I'm going to split this into whatever the denominator is. In this case, the denominator is 2, so I split it into 2. 1, 2. And then I'm going to count in my 2s, so my 2 times table, till I get to 14. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So that is 7. Some kids will be able to do it straight away. They know what 2 times 7 is, and it's 14. Some will have to count it out like how I just did. So then we put a 7 in both, because that's what we found out. And then we're looking for 1. Our numerator is 1. So 1/2. I will circle it, and therefore my answer is 7. You will get the occasional child that knows that 1/2 of 14 is 7 and will be able to just write it out, but we encourage them to practice using this bar method because the questions will get harder and it'll be easier for them to be able to copy it this way. We'll try another one of those. So my 9 is my whole number, which I'm working out, so that goes on top. That's a very bad 9, sorry. And then we're looking at 1/3, so our denominator is 3, which means you've got to split this into 3. And we count our 3s till we get to 9. 3, 6, 9. So that's 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So we put a 3 in each part. There we go, in each section. We're looking at 1/3. So we just need to circle 1. Therefore, our answer is 3. And then the next day, the worksheet will be asking you to look at non-unit fractions. So this is when they don't have a 1 up here. It's relatively the same, it's slightly different, so I'll show you. Put the 30 on top. Our denominator is 3, so we need to split into 3. I know that 3 times 10 is 30, so we're looking at our 10s. I go 10, 20, 30. Make sure I got it right. I have. And then it's 2. So instead we circle 2. 2 times 10 equals 20. So therefore our answer is 20. Same with this one. Top number goes here. We split into 5. I did teach Eagle class that if you're split into 5, you need to do 4 lines. Whatever you're split into, if you split up into 8, then you'll do 7 lines. Split into 9, you'll do 8 lines. You always do one less line to group it, just to try and make it more even for the kids. But they do it however they like, as long as they got the right number. It doesn't matter if one box is bigger than the other, as long as they're trying their best. I know that 5 times 10 is 50. So again, we've got our 10s for this one. I can double check I got that right. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And this time we're getting 3. So I'm going to circle 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 times 10 is 30. And the kids can go 10, 20, 30 if they please. So therefore my answer is 30. Now this one is where it gets a bit more difficult. The pound sign should not freak us out. We just can write £32 in there. It's the 8, because a lot of us don't know our 8 times table. We don't have to panic. We'll split it up as we normally would. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got my 8 boxes. And then we're going to go back to typing in multiplication grids onto Google. You can choose any one. I just like this one because it's really colourful. And the children know that if we're looking at our 8s, we'll go to our 8 times table. It doesn't matter if they look from here or if they look from here. And then we'll go right along till we find 32. There's our 32, so we go up 4. So each one of these will be a 4. There we go, because 4 times 8 is 32. And we need 3, because our numerator is 3. So 1, 2, 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Now, we're going to remind the children the answer isn't 12, because that could be 12 bananas, 12 flamingos, 12 anything. We need 12 pound, especially not pence. We can't just suddenly switch our units of money. So even though the pound's there, it doesn't actually freak us out, because we don't really need to do anything different. We just need to remember it in our answer and remember that this is actually about money. Okay, I hope this helps. Thank you guys for listening and watching.